Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today, as always. I'm making an extra video today because someone commented on a thread that I commented on, and he made a good point. I don't think he understands exactly what I'm talking about. And I thought about the passport bros, because many people give the passport bros a hard time because they go out of the country. They say they have weak game. And of course, maybe some of them do. But that's not necessarily why people go out of the country. I know myself, I have good game. It's just that there's nothing around here that I want to gain. Have I gained here in the US? Yes, I have. I've been married 4 times. I've had 10 kids. I've had long-term relationships beside my marriages. I've had one-night stands. I've been with many women. Probably not as many as the players nowadays, because promiscuity wasn't quite as heightened back in my day as it is now. But I still date. The last girl I dated, she's 23, okay? And that was like this last summer. So to find a girl where I live who's not overweight, that's over 20, is just damn near impossible. I live in a rural Midwestern town, and even if you go to St. Louis, it's not much better. In the US, the average weight of an American woman is 172 pounds. I mean, if you like overweight girls, that's great. I don't. I like girls that are built like a sprinter or like a gymnast, because that's the way I've kept my body all my life. If you look at my profile, you'll see that I'm in tip-top shape, and I stay that way, and I always have, regardless of my age. Now, I got a little heavy one time, about 20 years old. But I got that off pretty quick, worked hard for it. So it was tough. I'm not condemning anyone who's overweight. It's tough. We live in a country that's so abundant that it's hard not to get fat. I mean, that's pretty cool, because it used to be hard to survive and hard to find food. But it's the opposite here. No other time in the world has everyone had such an abundance available to them. Although we do have people that starve and are in lack of water every day. It's sad. I don't understand it. I think it's caused by greed, but that's a whole nother video. So we're talking about dating outside the country. I know the passport bros get bashed for that, and that's bullcrap. There's nothing here I want to date. There's nothing here I want. Now, that's not to say that there's not a few out there. I'm sure there are good women left here in the US, but it's few and far between. And if you can, why not go somewhere where the women are more to your liking, more feminine, they respect men, they still have more traditional values, they still want to stay home and take care of their kids, they still want to take care of their man, and they expect the man to take care of them. And what's wrong with that? I have no problem taking care of my woman. I've done it before. And as a matter of fact, the women I divorced came back afterwards and told me they regretted that they left. Well, I left them actually because they started cheating, okay? So you could say, well, Mark, you didn't have a good game. Well, I'll take my part in that, because probably what I did, or I know what I did, I became complacent. It's much easier to stay single than it is to stay married, because you always have to be on your game. I mean, the last one, after we had 6 kids, she wanted to go run and gun, she got to go running with her sisters, and I don't tolerate that crap. All right, I just don't put up with it. I put up with it for a short time, and it's like, it's not going to end. So I left her. Fortunately for me, I ended up with the 6 kids. She regretted it, but by the time she wanted to come back, it's too late, man. She done been with some other men. I don't want anything to do with her. Can't trust her anymore. The point I'm making here is this. If you don't like the fish in the pond you're fishing in, fish in a different pond. Doesn't matter how good of a fisherman you are, if you fish in the same pond, you're going to catch the same kind of fish. So you change locations. Makes sense to me. And obviously you have to have game no matter where you go. You can get fleeced out of the country. I've met women out of the country that take you to the cleaners if you let them. They just want your money, or they just want something from you. And it's not your love. So you have to have game. Of course you do. But so many people think that the passport bros leave the U.S. because they can't pick up women here in the U.S. I think it's more they don't want these women. I don't want a woman who wants to be a man. Hell, if I wanted a man, I would be gay. I'm not. I want a woman who knows that femininity is a great power, and she knows how to use that to comfort her man, to please her man, to take care of her man. And guess what happens when she takes care of her man? Her man excels. And guess what happens when her man excels? Her life becomes better also. It's really a simple formula that used to work very well here in the U.S. But women decided they wanted to go to work, or they were tricked into believing that life was going to be better. Well, guess what? Now they get to get up every morning, go to work all day, be away from their kids, and earn the dollar. And what are they doing but serving a man, the man? So think about it. That's why I go out of the country. I just don't want another man. I want a woman. A woman. I don't care what she makes. It doesn't matter to me. I don't need a woman's income. Few men, unless they're moochers, look at a woman and think, man, she's making $50,000 a year. She's making $100,000 a year. Yeah, I'm going to go out with her. I don't know anybody that thinks that way. Maybe some of these young feminine men think that way, but I sure as hell don't think that way. And then the passport bros get smashed because, well, them women there, they just want a green card. They just want your money. Well, a lot of them leave and they don't stay there. I mean, they don't bring the woman back here. They don't get her a green card. And I know women from other countries, they love their country. They don't want to leave their country. And my advice for you would be this, because I did marry a woman from another country, and then we ended up going back to her country, and we were together 12 years, and we had some good time together. But as I said, she got to running with her sisters, etc., etc. The point I'm making is, it was a mistake to bring her back here to my country. So my advice to you guys would be this: either stay in her country or have a relationship with her where you can come back and forth and stay there for a few months. If you want kids, have kids there. Don't bring her back here and have kids, because a lot of times women become Americanized. My ex learned a lot of things here that would have been better if she hadn't. But you have to understand their culture also. Now here's something I didn't understand, and unless you've been out of the country, you're going to think, well, that's bullcrap, or oh, no, that's not right. But you don't know because you haven't been out there. Had I known then what I know now, what I would have done when I married my wife from another, my ex-wife from another country, Latin America, I would have helped I would have helped her family out. Excuse me again. I was breathing a lot of dust. I was working today. I'm still dressed in my work clothes. Whatever, huh? You guys don't care. But I like to dress nice. So I would have given her family, her mom, because her dad was gone, $100 a month, or maybe $200 a month. And when my wife, my ex-wife at the time, wanted to start go out and run around, her family would have encouraged her to not do that. But I didn't understand how these other cultures are, because they depend on the kids to support the parents when they get older, because they don't have the social structure system to support older people like we do here. So it's not a question of them wanting your money, it's a question of necessity. The kids have to support the parents. And in my case, my ex-wife was one of 5 daughters. So there was one brother. There was only one brother to help support the mother. So they needed that. And if you make good money, what's $100 a month or $200 a month? It's nothing. Look at it as charity. So they need this. And I've also heard in the Philippines that's very similar too. That if you marry a woman over there, she needs you, unless you want her to work and send money back, she needs you to support her family. Now, us here in the U.S., we got this nuclear family idea, and most of us move out and it's just different here, and we don't understand that. But the Spanish people down in Latin America, and I've never been to the Philippines or over there, so Asia, I don't know. But their families will stay together. It's not uncommon down there for uncles, aunts, husbands, wives, children, 18 or 20 of them living together. And when they come up here, they do the same thing. And in all honesty, it makes more practical sense than what we do here. We're kind of doing that here now because my work had slowed down. So I got the 5 boys living here and my daughter, and we're all working and we're all sharing the expenses to a certain degree. There's a couple kids are still in school. This is much more practical than everybody moving out by themselves, having their own house, 2 or 3 bedroom house, and no kids maybe, or 1 kid or 2 kids. Now, of course, it's a little difficult to get along when you have that much family living together, but my house is pretty big. So this is the way other cultures do, because they don't have Social Security, they don't have nursing homes, they don't have the things that we have here. So in that respect, yes, they do need a man to support them. But what is wrong with that? I mean, we used to do that here. I took care of my mom and dad before they passed away. Now, they didn't need my money, but they needed my care. My dad I took care of for 4 years. My mom only lasted a couple months. They both passed away in their home. Now, that was a blessing for me. And I'm sure they liked it too, but it was more of a blessing for me that I was able to do that for them. But I was in a financial situation. Also, I've always been self-employed, where I was able to do that for them. But that's what we used to do here years ago. But now everybody wants to put their parents in the damn nursing home and go visit them, once a month or once in a while? I don't go for that. I'm a big family-oriented guy. Now, I realize some people have to do that. Like, my brother couldn't help out like I did because he had a job for a company where he couldn't just take off like I could. That's understandable. But there are a lot of people who just put their mom or dad in the nursing home, and it's just not me. I'm not going to condemn you for that, because it could have gotten bad enough where I would have had to put them in the home if I couldn't take care of the medicines and different things like that. Fortunately, it didn't get to that position or point. So I was very fortunate, and it was fortunate for mom and dad also. But back to my subject here. And the reason I got on that is because these families are different and cultures are different. And the reason a lot of guys are leaving here is because our culture has changed so dramatically. Motherhood, wife, housewife is belittled here in the U.S. It's not honored and respected as it should be. And if you're a mother staying home with your kids, I give you the thank you. Because that's one of the things we need in our nation. And if you're a father supporting your wife, taking care of your kids, that's great. We need more of that, in my opinion. Because what we're doing now is not working. And what we did do did work. Did we have school shootings back then? No, we didn't. Do you think that could have had something to do with parents actually raising their own children and knowing what's going on in their children's lives? I think that might have a little bit to do with it. I'm sure it's not everything, but it's got something to do with it. So that's it for today. So remember, you think guys are just going out of the country because they don't have game? Maybe they don't want to use their game here because they don't like the fish in this pond. I know I don't. So that's it. If you'd like to get my help personally, I've traveled a lot. I know a little bit about different places in the world, and I can give you some help there if you'd like. I have a great deal, a huge discount on consultations because I'm not too busy in my other business. So give me a call. We'll set something up. Take care.